Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Old Guy Paintball. I'm Craig and I'm your host. The NXL Major League Paintball World Cup is coming up November 7th through 10th in Florida. It is the season-ending championship and it will decide many things. It's an exciting event and we're going to talk about it this week. At this time, the field layout has not been released. I'm sure that's forthcoming here shortly. And once it gets out, the teams will start practicing. There's a very unique format to that they combine the NXL European teams, top four, with the Americans in the pro division for the overall championship and tournament. We also have to discuss who will likely win the season championship and who will face relegation at the end of the season. But first, let's talk about the NXL European teams. The four teams that made it are Ron Holt Dynamite, Spider Fusion, Toulouse Tauntaun, and Scalp. Scalp is the number one team. They won NXL Europe and they gained the automatic quarterfinal bid. The top three American teams are Red Legion, San Antonio X Factor, and Houston Heat. They will join Scalp in the quarterfinals secured position and they'll have their own bracket playing for seeding on Sunday. The rest of the team will be placed into the regular brackets and they will battle it out for the right to play on Sunday. And as of right now, the brackets do not look that bad. There is no real so-called bracket of death. They look to be fairly well spread out. And I'll go over those real quickly with you. Bracket A, Chicago Aftershock, Hurricanes, Brooklyn Bears, Ron Holt Dynamite, AC Diesel. Bracket B, Tampa Bay Damage, Paintball Fit, San Diego Aftermath, Fusion, and Austin Notorious. Bracket C, Edmonton Impact, LA Ironman, LA Infamous, ML Kings, and New York Extreme. And bracket D is San Diego Dynasty, Baltimore Revo, Blast Camp, the Tauntauns are in that one. And it provides, like I said, some unique perspectives in that, it's fairly even matched. I see a lot of teams could go 2-2 or 3-1. It's going to be very interesting to see out of those. Right now, it's a real tough call who is going to come out of those brackets with, the biggest wins. Right now, I mean, it's obviously, like I said, the past four teams, Aftershock, Damage, Impact, and Dynasty from the last tournament are all in there, and they've got good competition, and so they should do fairly well. It's going to be a tough go. Generally, in World Cup, teams with more experience tend to do better. I know Dynasty has been down the past few tournaments, but I look for them to rebound. They're a strong veteran team, and they've always seemed to rise up for World Cup. That being said, I also like Tampa Bay Damage, and my sleeper team, I think, is Aftershock. They have been steadily improving the entire year, and I think they're poised to make a deep run in Sunday morning. With that being said, the biggest thing with World Cup is several things. It's a double point event, and there's also a lot more prize money. So there's very much a large incentive for teams to do good at this tournament. And one of the biggest things is, first of all, I want to talk about is in the pro division, who is in the top spot? Red Legion leads San Antonio X Factor by over 100 points, followed by number 3, Houston Heat, and then number 4, Chicago Aftershock, having a surprisingly very good first season. Right now, unless Red Legion would get knocked out early on Sunday, I don't know if they can be overtaken. I mean, you would literally have to knock them out in the quarterfinals, and either San Antonio X Factor or Houston Heat would really have to go almost to the finals and go deep to probably overtake them. But with double points in the line, this could get very interesting and can become very competitive for that season title. So I look forward to seeing a lot of these matches, especially on Sunday morning, and seeing how everything goes down. On the flip side, we have to look at relegation. And every year, generally the bottom team, and sometimes the bottom two, get demoted back to semi-pro, and the top semi-pro teams, usually one or two, gets promoted to the pro division. Right now, New York Extreme is in 20th place. They've had just a really bad year. It's really not close, and I think unless they have a miracle finish on Sunday and get into the finals brackets where they get deep into a Sunday, I don't see how they're going to avoid relegation. Right behind them is Austin Notorious, AC Diesel, which is really surprisingly having a bad year for the roster they have, and ML Kings comes in at number 17. Now, it is possible if Extreme has a good tournament and a Notorious or Diesel or possibly somebody else has a really poor outing, they could drop down. But right now, it's looking not good for Extreme and looking very good for Red Legion and the other side of the bracket. So that adds the unique twist is there are at least 4 teams fighting for the top spot and 4 teams fighting to stay in the pro division. So that is going to add a very unique and exciting level of competition that is going to be shown. With that being said, who's in semi-pro? Well, right now, the number 1 team in semi-pro is Leverage, followed by Royal City Sea Dogs, New York Wrecking Crew, the Newbies, and the number 5 team is TJ Bastards. Leverage is number 1, and right now, if they would win, they would get the promotion. But again, same thing in semi-pro, anything can happen. A bad showing by one team, a really good showing by another, could boost you into that number 1 spot and get you in the pro division. So that should be a very, very competitive set of matches going on, as again, you're fighting for that chance to join the elite of the NXL. And not only that, we also have the divisional races. I'm not going to cover a lot of those because there's a lot of teams in those, and there's there could be as many as 30 teams in a bracket, so it could be very hard to predict what could happen. But same scenario, teams are fighting for that chance to claim that divisional title at the end of the year. Overall, I think it's going to be a very good event. Hopefully the weather is nice, and we're going to see a lot of exciting matches. Like I said, a lot of drama. A good chance for teams to show themselves, and not only that, but it also sets up for the 2025. A good showing could attract better free agents, and a poor showing could cost you good players as they look to go to a better team. It's happened before. And as always, at the end of the year, some teams just decide that they can't afford to stay in the pro division and sell their spot to a semi-pro team. So the offseason should be very interesting after this event. Some teams have already started to make moves to improve themselves for World Cup. The biggest thing is I am going to put up a posting if you are watching. Are you going to watch? Are you even going to go? Are you just going to watch the free feed? So stop by and check out my poll and try to give me an idea of where everybody's going to do, how they're going to view World Cup. But with that being said, I hope that everybody gets a chance to check out some of the action. I expect it to be, again, a very good tournament. I hope everyone has liked this video, and if you do, please hit that like button. And also, please be sure to subscribe. I have lots of upcoming content, and be sure to join us so you don't miss out on any of that. With that being said, I hope everyone's had a good day, and I'll see you on the paintball field soon.